All right, so a while back, I want to say my early 20s, early to mid 20s, maybe even, there was one girl in particular um, used to talk to a lot. And one day she expressed to me that she had this fantasy of basically pegging a man. Now, what made me want to do this video is that I'm watching Tariq Nasheed's video on, I guess he's interviewing this one woman, and she explains that she wants to peg a man, and she wants him to break down to her why it is. Now, I haven't even seen the breakdown, but this girl that I used to talk to, she told me this, that she had this fantasy to peg a man, right? And I'm like, oh man, I just get all belligerent because I'm like, wow. And I'm like, why would you want to why would you want to bend over some F word? You can't say it on here, but why would you want to bend over some dude like that? You know what I'm saying? That's this and that, this and that. And she cuts me off and she's like, no, I don't want to do it to a guy that's a dude that's gay. I don't want to do that. That defeats the purpose. And I'm like, what? There's a purpose? Like, what is the purpose then? What do you mean? And me just understanding, even at that time, the things that I knew about feminism and whatever, understanding the things that I knew back then, I'm like, oh, so you want some burly, you want a masculine type, of you want an alpha dude because you want to break them. I'm like, you want a man that you could break, and she's like, yes, that's exactly what it is. And then she gets to explaining how she feels that it was so demeaning that men do that to women, that men bend women over and ram women, and basically she found it, the act of sex between a man and a woman, she found it to be demeaning, right? And that was really I guess what was at the crux of why she wanted to do this, right? Because a lot of women following after modern day feminism and all like that, they have this overwhelming desire or this overwhelming penis envy, but it's mostly kept on a subconscious level, but it manifests itself in the conscious, right? So they have these desires, they have all this. That is part of the reason why you have a lot of women, especially black women today, that seem to more so be interested in dating black men who are quote unquote beneath them, right, in terms of intelligence or finances or whatever, because education wise, maybe even in the looks department. I know women that say they don't like cute dudes, they don't like dudes that's too handsome or whatever. And it's all out of a subconscious desire to be above the men. So out of a subconscious desire to emasculate the men, right? That is one way in which women emasculate men, is by purposefully dating dudes of a lower nature, knuckle draggers, dudes of a lower level, right? You even have a lot of relationships in the black community where the woman is 5'7" or 5'10" and 250 pounds, 300 pounds, and then you got the man around the same height, but the dude is like like 170 or something like that. And it's like, wow, all of this is out of some sort of desire to be above, not even equal to, but actually above the men, right? That is what they were trained into. That's how they were programmed, to be combative, to have a warrior type of mentality towards the men, right? So that is what's at the crux of the and I noticed something. That's not a rare thing that you have women today that want to peg men, because she's not the first one that said that. I had another chick I used to talk to, I think when I was a teenager, and she brought up something of that nature, but I wasn't thinking on that level back then, right? So when I encountered this girl and she told me that, I'm like, whoa, there's actually something to this mentality, right? Because you got a lot of women today that are actually into that sort of thing, right? And you will rarely ever, most of them, for the most part, is that there's not an interest in the openly flamboyant homosexual male. All right, there's more of a interest in the heterosexual or apparently heterosexual man, because if you're doing that, you're not heterosexual. You just have the appearance of someone who is. All right, but anyway, peace.